if you're working on an SAP PIPO to integration suite migration, and you're looking at some of the message mapping, you may be scared if you find out that they use function libraries. So here we have an example of a message mapping that is using function libraries. And today I'll show you 2 ways that you can migrate this using FIGAF. So let's just look at this user-defined functions. It is not really a good function. Here we have a regex command, and we have something that is using some container variables. We have uncommented because that is not something that's a part of the integration suite scenario. So let's see what this looks like. So I will go to FIGAF. Here I have, in our overview, I've found this scenario, and I will go here and I'll call this December 10th. That's the technical name up here, and then the technical would also be auto-completed here. Christmas, December 10. We can select which profile. We recommend that you use the local processing, a local process, because it will create a better flow for a lot of these scenarios. There's a lot here about communication channels. We don't really want to go into this, but let's look at these message mapping. So it's the message mapping 1. This is the one that is actually using these scenarios. If we want to look more into it, we can open this message mapping. Here we can see that this message mapping is linked to an IDOC, a function library object, and then a message type for the receiving part or the sending part. I don't know. So this is one of the things we have in the FIGAF tool, the ability to link these things together. We can reuse an artifact, and this is a part in FIGAF that enable us to reuse the artifact in a number of different ways. And then if we look at this function, it is called here order functions. We will just say override, because then we are not using the override functionality for this specific one. And we can see we're getting some errors down here we needed to check up on. If we press check again, we will get the same one. We can see here there's a $sign that was escaped. So it does give you some information here that is needed. So if I click migrate, we will migrate this, and now we'll be using the Groovy conversion. So we have 2 options of converting this iFlow or these function libraries using Groovy or using SAP's function library import functionality. So let's see what this is creating. So if we look here at this flow here, we have the message mapping up here, and we can see the payload here. If we look at this, find the right place. So here we have this partner name. Here we can read the script that is being used here. So here we can see the Groovy script. We can see that the partner name has just been converted. It is here in Groovy using context, which is different than the container variable that we are using when we are using with from the PI function libraries. We also see here that the line here was escape, because a $sign in Groovy is seen as a start of a variable, and that just makes a lot of problems with this. So we just escape it to ensure that it's not replaced incorrectly and can be compiled. And this is obviously a problem in a lot of Groovy scripts. And then we just have the scenarios here. So this was one way of migrating these scenarios using the FIGAF conversion of the Groovy functions. The other way is if we go in here, we say override shared, and we will set instead here, so use this function library. So we can use any of these libraries where it uses the same name for this object. And let's select this one, and we will check again just to make sure everything works out. And here we can see that when we're changing something, it says we should be reusing shared artifacts when we are making changes for these scenarios. So we'll migrate it again. So if we go in and refresh this now, in the message mapping now. If everything worked out okay, we can see we have here, we can read the Groovy script. We can see it is linking to this function library import here, where we can see what has been imported here in this function library, and we can see all the tags that is using. So if you want to import a function library in here, you just go in, you say edit, you say upload, you say import here from the ESR, and then you just select a function library here, select, and then this will be added if possible. There is a number of limitations that this function library has, and that brings me to the next point. There is differences between what is supported with the different functionalities, and this is just something you need to consider for the different function libraries. For instance, when you're importing here, it does have you don't need to uncomment this because this is Java, but it does not support, so if there are some problems, it does not allow you to import it, like it's missing a parameter, like it is using all values of a queue. Those kind of things will not enable it to work, and obviously you will still need to make changes where you're using dynamic attributes. They may be able to resolve, but obviously will not work properly inside of the application. So I hope you saw how the FigOff tool can help you with some of these migrations where you are using function libraries. And yes, there is in the free trial, there is 10 migrations you can use that will enable you to understand how this will work for your scenarios. I hope you like this video and want to share it, share it with people. Click like so other people will be able to see what's going on and see that it is possible to migrate these message mappings without a lot of effort. Thanks.